Oh, hello there. How you doing? The saga continues. Last time I checked out Channel Awesome's Kickassia. It was an eye-opening experience. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it either. I talked with my friends over at Red Cow Arcade about it in a gigantic video we did over there. It felt like more than a month of my life was dedicated to the exploration of this historical internet movie. By the time I was done with all my investigations, I was ready for a break. However, not too long after finishing the last video, I dove into Channel Awesome's second feature-length anniversary film,
Suburban Knights. I don't have much expectation for it.
I don't have any expectations. Zero.
Suburban Knights is the second in the Channel Awesome trilogy, but basically it goes Kickassia, Suburban Knights, to Boldly Flee. Originally, it was released in 7 parts starting on June 27th, 2011. But obviously, that's not how I viewed the film. No, as far as I'm concerned, this was a 2-hour and 9-minute movie. I was told that I would have nothing good to say about it, that there would be no positives whatsoever in watching this movie, and I believed it. You know, I went on the podcast with Red Cow Arcade, and Jason Graves was there with Frankie and EJ, and at some point, Jason Graves, who's a big fan of Kickassia, said,
like, when we talk about the other two, it's not going to be this. We're not going to have like anything nice things to say about those. I predict there is no watching it 5 times and getting warmed up and then thinking it's funny.
For the record, Kickassia is a compelling piece of internet history, but by no means do I ever need to see it again. It's just not that rewatchable. It's like an old bottle of used gack from Nickelodeon. It's fascinating to look at. I might poke at it just to see what it's all about, but I'm not going to keep playing with it, you know what I mean? Of course, it's kind of ironic for me to say because I ended up watching Kickassia like 8 times last time I was doing research for the movie, so whatever. And get excited because you and I are going to dive into the making of Suburban Knights, which was in many ways more compelling than the actual movie itself. But first things first. Like last time, I made my wife experience Suburban Knights with me. If I don't have to do this alone, I won't. And we liked it. Maybe like is too strong a word, but we certainly were entertained on a pretty consistent basis throughout the whole thing. We laughed. A lot.
I warn you, I am a demon of another realm!
Who the hell is this? Stupid.
Chicken the Chinese chicken.
Wait! Stunt woman!
You summoned?
Oh.
We noticed something that looks suspiciously like effort on our TV.
It's marginally better than Kickassia,
Whoa.
and I can't believe I'm saying that.
This is what brainwashing is.
No. We don't love it. Right? I'm kidding.
I started wrestling with this unexpected turn of events. Now, at first it was guilty, like, no, I can't possibly be enjoying this. No. I'm sure it'll get worse and worse and worse, but I found myself, like, laughing. And this time I didn't hold myself back. After the guilt went away, I'm just like, I think I'm laughing. I think I'm enjoying the plot. And also, it seemed like there was more plot this time.
Yeah, there was.
There were villains. Mm-hmm. You know, in Kickassia, you had Kevin Baugh, who was the villain, but really it was Doug who became the villain in Kickassia. In Kickassia, you've got like 2 to 3 locations, mainly 2. Mm-hmm. This one, you've got a quest, and it starts here and it goes, it's all sorts of like stimuli. Like if you compare it to Kickassia, I feel like this was a decent step up. Suburban Knights follows the Channel Awesome crew as they're split into teams on a live-action fantasy quest to find a powerful magical gauntlet. Everyone cosplays as fantasy characters because, just because, okay? It's something that actually makes the characters stand out from one another, to be honest.
It was more accessible because all the cast members were wearing costumes from like famous movies and kind of referencing or quoting from famous fantasy movies that I love. And, you know, I'm a fantasy movie geek.
Doug, as the nostalgia critic, leads half of the group dressed as Link. The other half are dressed like wizards, warriors, David Bowie, Princess Mononoke, and whatever they could throw together from Spirit Halloween and a glue gun.
Does that mean he's got the... can't tell if I want to flaunt what I've got.
No! Don't do it! Seriously, don't do that! It's ironic that he does that.
I want to talk about Juwario real quick. His character wasn't too bad in it. I feel like he pulled off the David Bowie thing kind of well.
He was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
And that was another moment where they did a close-up of his, like, tight pants, and they're like, oh.
Yeah, but that was kind of funny.
It was funny, but I'm like,
you know,
course.
it's like he stuffed his pants for that.
I'm sorry to say, ladies, that's not his real Bowie there. That's was a zucchini or a cucumber or something. He would take it out of his pants, and then the girls would play with it. It was a lot of fun.
I was more aware of these people, so I guess that does help when you're watching these movies. You got to know who these people are. I was like, oh, I know who that is now. Oh, I know their name. I know this person. Oh, I'm aware of their history now. It made for a much more enjoyable time. The thing about this movie is that the cinematography actually took a turn for the better this time around. Not by a lot, but enough to take note. The camera work in Kickassia was terrible.
Yes, absolutely.
Unforgivable even in many ways. But this one, you could tell, I think if Rob Walker was the cinematographer this time, I can tell he took his game up a little bit. You know, there was some intentionality to some of the shots this time around, which I found interesting. I was like, oh, that looks better. It was a lot more in focus.
We've lowered our expectations, I think, so much that we're almost...
Liking it? Dare we say?
Hush now, hush.
In fact, Rob gives credit to Doug, who wore his cinematographer hat, much more on this movie. Rob did a lot of cinematography too, but Doug also storyboarded almost every scene. In a word, he was kind of prepared. There's more color palette to it too. The last one was completely in the desert, and this one was in the suburbs with green and blues and all sorts of colorful costumes.
Can you imagine being these people in the houses? Like, what are you doing?
And the people driving by.
Those people going into their house. Did you see them?
Yes. They're right there.
There was a bicyclist behind them just now.
Eventually, they all find the gauntlet, beat the bad guys, and give one of the contributors a big hero moment that sort of comes out of nowhere. I know I'm being more positive than many of you expected, but here are some of the negatives I had with this. I have an internal clock with movies. I can tell when it should be over. At about an hour 25, something like that, I was like, oh, hopefully, I think maybe it's almost done. I looked and there was like 45 minutes or so left. So that was disappointing, maybe 50 minutes. The jokes go on too long. You got a good thing going, you even get a laugh out of us, and then it goes on and on and on. And then you're like, dang it, you betrayed my trust.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was funny, and then you just kept going, and then I'm like, oh, I regret giving you my laughter. Film Brain, he didn't get any better. And again, now that I know his backstory, he's not like that, and he was just a review show. Film Brain. So the fact is that Doug Walker wrote this role for him to be a sycophantic suck up, and now he has competition with this other guy in it. I wrote down, shut the fuck up with the Jeremy Irons impression. So the guy with the headphones, his name is Paul Schuler in real life. I guess people call his character Paw, or his review persona Paw.
Paw.
Feed me your rage, Forrest.
He was doing this Jeremy Irons thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wanted to smack him. Like, oh. Ooh.
You know, because I think he didn't feel very comfortable doing it. And then he did it over and over. It's like the only thing he prepared for this cosplay character. And I was like, shut up. No more of that stuff. No more Chianti.
It's sort of like, well, actually, every character just kept repeating the one joke.
Hello, my name is not Joe. It is Inigo Montoya.
You killed my mother.
Father.
Somebody! You killed my lawyer.
Father.
Whoever! You killed my hamster.
Father.
That's not even a person! Oh, right. Like I'm just supposed to pick up a stone, stand here, and say, give me light? Shit!
They shot some guy in a dark room going, ooh!
Give me light.
Oh, is that Spoonie?
Yeah.
Oh, it's supposed to be like that Nightmare game?
Nightmare, the game hosted by a video.
I am the gatekeeper!
Woo! 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 There's that Channel Awesome thing where they repeat something that made us laugh.
I don't care. Come on, guys. See if they just trimmed that.
Yes. They could have gotten away with it a couple times.
This movie, if it was cut down, and then you cut those jokes before they go on and on and on, you might have a stew there, baby.
You get a maximum of 3, in my opinion. After 3, do it like 3 times the charm. If you say the same joke any more than 3 times, it's like, no.
There were more moments of characters shining in Suburban Knights than in Kickassia. But I think out of everyone, Angry Joe was Gina and I's favorite character this time around.
Angry Joe has a nice zip to him.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the part where Angry Joe comes in and goes, no, no,
No! 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 No!
I enjoyed it because his energy's always like good. Angry Joe screams no a total of 21 times. Someone actually counted that and put that in trivia. That's a fan. It's probably Doug.
Did Angry Joe bring his guns?
Yes.
I kind of enjoyed him bringing his guns out. I knew he would.
I also enjoy her with her Japanese.
I kind of do too. I like her better in this one.
Yeah. Well, she has more to do.
Yeah.
They all have more to do.
Is she speaking real, like, Japanese?
I think so, but I don't know.
Because in Kickassia, she was coming back from a trip from, like, Asia somewhere. Like, I think Japan. The fear in her eyes.
I know. She tried really hard to remember this.
Now, some people talk about Caitlin's Japanese. They say it's either it's really good or it's flawed. And I'll tell you right now that she tried over and over to get it right. It wasn't something where she'd say a line and say, I think that's close. Yeah, that'll do. If she got something wrong, she'd say, no, that's wrong. Let me try it again. Konnichiwa. Okay, and she would go through it several times, so she worked very, very hard on it.
I was wondering if that was real Japanese. She went above and beyond for that role.
Only 2 claps.
Okay.
You would have got 3 claps if you weren't 2 hours and 9 minutes.
But just like last time, it was the making of documentary that was the most fascinating part of this investigation for me. It's time to dive into the Channel Awesome documentary, Apocalypse How? A Filmmaker's Fart of Darkness. Get it? On Kickassia, the crew from Channel Awesome had to contend with the scorching Nevada sun. This time, it was the exact opposite over in Chicago, Illinois, where this anniversary movie was filmed. It was cold and constantly raining. I'm fascinated with the group dynamic here.
They have a lot of critics as part of Channel Awesome, but it usually seems like the core group is really just these people with maybe 1 or 2 new people, at least so far. Like her. Lupa Obscura? Is that her name? Lupus Obscura, that's her name. And
I called her, I think when we were watching it the other night, I called her Lupus Obscurus, and I'm like, that can't be right.
Look at Film Brain in the corner, looking uncomfortable.
The flirtatious vibes were working overtime at what looks like a local Denny's. There was a rumor that Bargo had a fling with Lindsay Ellis. Sometime in 2011, between Suburban Knights and To Boldly Flee, Bargov decided to leave Channel Awesome to pursue other projects. Historic rumors claimed that he got a huge ego after taking on the CEP role, had at least 1 sexual encounter with Lindsay Ellis, and then spent the next however long bragging about it. This eventually led to a quiet dismissal. I'm not just going to run with that. Is that true? I mean, I'm going to need proof.
Bargov is over there watching with like, hey, don't touch her. We had sex.
Wow, that was really surprising.
Strong little Frenchman.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I can lift up anybody on this table.
All right, let's do it.
Can you imagine being the people at Denny's like, the hell are these nerds doing?
I won't say it's a fact, but if it was, this must have been awkward for him.
Ooh, wow, you're like going to a wedding.
Was this the last movie he did before leaving Channel Awesome? Suburban Knights 2011. He only produced
Kickassia. There wasn't a goodbye video with Bargov. I remember Rob saying on the To Boldly Flee commentary that Bargov was on his own journey and made it seem like he left them. This guy like disappeared off the face of the earth. Let's go to Tumblr. I never had a Tumblr account when I was younger, and now I never will. Whatever happened to Bargov Dranam Raju? According to that guy with the glasses wiki, Bargov stepped down as chief executive producer in 2011 in order to focus on his Monkey Death Ray show. That show is no longer on that guy with the glasses site, but you can still see the episodes here. Okay. Where are you, dude?
There was this hilarious soundbite from the commentary track with Iron Liz and Holly Brown where Liz talks about having to fetch something from Benzai's suitcase and finding a box of condoms.
Like finding the box of condoms in Benzai's suitcase.
Oh yeah.
And turning it upside down. Benzai, what do you expect to do on this trip?
It's just weird to think of this minor Channel Awesome reviewer bringing a condom to the set, let alone a whole box of them, while making Suburban Knights. I can't think of a less sexy film set to do this on. I can't think of any film set to do this on. Just sit on your perch, put on your pancake mix, and make the damn movie. You know what I mean? Box of condoms. From the very beginning, there were backup plans just in case Suburban Knights' shooting plans fell through, such as a murder mystery that would take place at Doug and Rob's house.
Our backup plan was to do an entirely improvised murder mystery inside the house, which, you know, would probably which would probably be terrible, but at least it'd be giving people something.
Doug wrote for himself to wear a miniskirt
and show his balls.
What are you talking about?
Yes. And to have the girls notice that.
And this is the part where you guys notice.
It was a joke that was super unnecessary, and Doug expresses his regret on his commentary track.
For the record, I do not wear tidy whities. I am putting that out there right now, right after I put this little bit up. Well, not little, but there you go. Oh yeah. Desktop for 1 million fangirls and maybe even fanboys. I apologize to the world.
It was interesting to hear other Channel Awesome members talk about this wardrobe choice, like Rob Walker.
Oh my god. Doug, that was the hardest scene to shoot, I can say right now. I basically was bleaching my eyes out for a week.
We'll hear more about Holly Brown, the site administrator who had a pivotal role in the making of Suburban Knights, but she had a lapse of judgment with Doug's crotch, which we'll get out of the way right now.
For this shot, Doug thought it was funny when he wrote it, but then he realized when it came to do it, he was really self-conscious. And so I had to keep telling him, you gotta open your legs wider. You have to open your legs wider. No, trust me. This will be funnier. Open your legs wider.
And every time I thought it was safe to go to the car and get some pants, another scene came up where I had to show my bulbous goosebump legs. God, this joke wasn't worth it.
Gina and I reacted like you'd expect. We saw, Doug Walker's balls.
Thanks a lot, Doug.
He couldn't have worn pants.
I would have preferred it. I'm sure in the Channel Awesome document. And plus, he didn't wear pants in Suburban Knights.
However, it was kind of funny how Doug's arc gets realized in the movie.
He has an arc in this. No man spreading.
At 6:30 a.m., the crew arrives at Bemis Woods where they find out it's closed. Lindsay Ellis is going on about permits not being secured.
And I swear to God, I was like, Doug, you gotta get a fucking permit for every single place you go. They might charge you.
I don't think they need a permit for Suburban Knights. I've done permits on all 3 of my feature films, and going forward, if I don't have to pay a permit, I'm not gonna. It's a big waste of time a lot of times. But you didn't hear that from me.
But the thing is, who gives a crap about the rules? This is a cheapo movie that should cut corners everywhere they can. There's this performative thing that people do when making a movie, no matter how cheap or amateurish, especially with newbies. They want it to feel like a real Hollywood movie. But a lot of times that just means paying unnecessary fees and playing by silly rules that don't actually benefit the people making the movie.
It turns out we got there 10 minutes early, so the place wasn't open yet. So we decided to get the team breakfast and headed out to our location. The area we were originally supposed to film in got flooded, so we had to keep principal photography to the narrow street.
So it seems like this time Doug is doing voiceover so he can control the narrative a little better than Bargov did last time. I actually liked the way it was just raw Bargov vlogging last time.
We white-knuckled everything else we had to do. One-shot takes, cutting several big scenes, scaling down lines to only the bare minimum.
You scaled down the lines and it still ended up being 2 hours.
It's also cold as hell.
This is Benzai's warm-up routine when it's cold down here.
You didn't shoot him there. Never mind. I'm stupid. I was thinking. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna
there.
People could see their breath. Producers were huddling for warmth.
People are dressed like idiots and they're freezing their nipples and dicks off. So Channel Awesome producers decide that food is the least they can provide.
As the day finally came to a close, we took the producers out for pizza. It was the least we could do after making them suffer so much.
It was the least we could do. I mean, you should be providing meals, honestly.
Everyone's coming from out of town. They're all helping the channel, therefore benefiting Mike Mashad and the Walkers. All these out-of-town reviewers are using their spare time to make content for said channel. Just feed the crew, like at every meal, you know what I mean? It sounds like everyone was underfed on this project, just like with Kickassia.
I hope he fed them this time.
He finally gives them water. Now that we're not in the desert.
He gives them a bottle of water, now share.
I think for next year, too, might be a good idea to get catering or have, like an on-site, like, meat and cheese tray or something like that.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna have to be more food. They bought way more food than they had during the shoot of Kickassia, and people still went through it complete.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, that I think was getting people, they were tired and hungry, especially during those shots in the house, because, we hadn't eaten for a long time. If we had a snack or something, like Gatorade or something, that would have been the world of difference.
Who's managing this again?
This is Mike, our CEO.
Hey.
Oh, right. Mike Mashad also makes an appearance in the actual movie this time around.
How are you today? Well, can't talk now. I just want to break up.
Is that Mashad?
Was it?
Schemy bastard.
This guy really perplexes me. He's the CEO of Channel Awesome, but he really doesn't act like a leader.
I want to see if Mike Mashad actually does things behind the scenes. From all I've heard and read about him, he's just like this guy who strangely owns this property that Doug created. I want to see him do some work. He better work for that title he has over there at Channel Awesome. Well, I let them talk about making the movie at my apartment.
All right, just for clarity's sake, here's some background on Mike. Mike Mashad got involved with Channel Awesome in 2008 after pitching the idea of creating a website for Doug and Rob Walker's Nostalgia Critic videos, which were facing copyright issues on YouTube. After being laid off from Circuit City, Mashad teamed up with two former co-workers, Bargov Raju and Mike Ellis, to launch ThatGuyWithTheGlasses.com, handling the tech and business side. Later that year, they turned it into Channel Awesome Incorporated, with Mashad becoming CEO. While Doug led the creative side and Rob helped with writing, Mashad ran the business and managed the company's growth. So there you go.
Look at this power dynamic with Mike Mashad in the middle and the creator to the far right, and then Rob over there, and they're like Mike's little bitches. But Doug created this whole thing. What a strange dynamic. It doesn't sit right with me. Why are you going through Mike for all this stuff? Is he really the money guy? Is he providing you with the budget?
Other than the fact of the rental cars, the food, the lodging, and the airfare, we still haven't put really much money into the production. I mean, with this process.
Just those things.
And then the costumes. I mean, that's the biggest. That's all our productions are. It's pretty much bringing them here and having a few props here. We don't have the time or the ability to be able to put these big productions together right now.
Mike's bright idea is to totally scrap the production.
I honestly say we just go to documentary approach. I think we just go that approach. That'll be the thing we show. And then I don't know, I mean, that's the only thing we can do.
Turn the existing footage into a mockumentary about the failure of making the movie.
I don't think that's what people want to see. I think they would actually want to see what we were going to do, you know. And the nice thing is because we do have a good chunk of footage shot, I mean, we could edit some of these scenes together.
Still, they're all together. They're all filming crops, which people like to see. And the fact that we're showing what went wrong, and telling what went wrong, and explaining all this.
I'm not entirely against it, I'm just saying that's the concern.
Rob brings up a very good point that as a company, is that going to make us look bad?
I don't think so. I think it'd be commendable that we're willing to admit our mistakes.
It seems like laziness, a lack of confidence, and it truly just uncreative, really. So they call a meeting that night, but once the site administrator, Holly Brown, hears about this, she goes into overdrive. Here's an excerpt from the Not So Awesome document written by Holly. Let me tell you about the fury I felt when they called me on the way to Doug and Rob's house to tell me we were scrapping Suburban Knights. Them. No one is going to want to finish it. Me. Why don't we ask them? I know for certain they want to finish this. Thankfully, I got them to at least agree to ask, and then called the producers to let them know what was up. Which leads us to the hero moment of this entire production. We see a meeting with all the reviewers cramped into a hotel room. After Doug proposes that they put the decision to a vote, and the group does something surprising. They shut down the vote right away.
What we'll do is we'll work all the way till it's completed. Yeah, it may not be the best, and the lighting may be this and that, but that's all stuff that you can figure out in editing, and I know you know how to edit, and you can create things, create magic in editing, and find different ways to make things work. So if we just all work to get to a single goal, finishing it, you know, we don't need any crossover days. Sunday, Monday, we'll work Easter, we'll work whatever. We talked about it. We can extend on Monday as well.
They all want to see this through to the end.
Okay, this makes me like this group even more. This is badass that they're all rallying together and they really want to finish this movie. I have a lot of respect for that.
Then Linkara takes this opportunity to grandstand.
They want to do this nostalgic contest to get attention on Mars Girl. There would not have been so many of us. You got us started, sir.
Okay, you can be done with the speech part, but yeah, otherwise this is a great group.
Slow clap.
This is their Mighty Ducks moment. I'm telling you, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
I just want to take this opportunity to say, I fucking told you so.
Good for Holly though, for she thought the best of the group, which is interesting. Mike Mashad was like, "Oh yeah, you're right. It's too much. Let's just go home and we'll make a mockumentary out of it."
Then the sun literally comes out.
Well, as luck would have it, the sun started to shine again.
Things start to go much smoother.
Though several scenes still had to be cut, shooting did go a lot faster. And for the most part, everything went relatively well.
There are some hiccups, of course, like this stunt gone wrong with the actor who plays Malachite.
Ready and go.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
You sure?
Wow, that hurt.
Holy shit. He landed straight on his head. His ego just nosedived.
And go.
1, 2, 3.
Can you do it again with the hat not falling off, though? That's what I would want.
Even though I didn't really like this guy's character in the movie,
he's so smug.
Like he's taking it too seriously,
Yeah.
sort of.
I swear, every high school has someone like that, at least when we went to high school.
In my high school, it was a guy wearing a brown trench coat and he carried a briefcase. Like he dressed like an old man.
What was in the briefcase?
Oh.
A sandwich and a pickle.
What do you think of the 21st century?
What do you think of the 21st century?
fuck you. The bad guy was so douchey, so annoying. I didn't enjoy his character. I'm sure the guy who's playing him is fine. And I say that because I know what it's like to be an actor. I know what it's like to be in projects. And, you know, he was probably giving his all. In fact, I know he was.
It was too much.
It was too much.
He was trying a little too much.
He was trying a little too hard. He was taking it seriously, so thumbs up for that. But it was the wrong tone for the rest of the movie. Everyone else knew the movie they were in. In fact, there was a moment at the end where they undercut him. He got a phone call on his cell phone and he started becoming more like a real person.
Yeah, that was great.
That was great. That actually should have been throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
That would have made it better.
More foam, less milk. That's cappuccino. Just do what you can. I'll come back. I'll talk to you later, okay? I'm in the middle of something. All right? Okay. All right, bye.
I gotta say that the actual dude, whose name is Orlando Belial, seems like a nice guy. I found out from Holly Brown's commentary track that Orlando ran a coffee shop called All Around Coffee, located in Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. It has since closed, though. Here's a special feature on the DVD titled The True Location of Malachite that shows what happened to Malachite after the events of this movie. This is his coffee shop.
And low, low prices here at All Around Cafe.
Other injuries include Rob getting one of his annual boo-boos. He got bashed on the head by this guy, Suede.
Suede?
I don't know who that is.
Me either.
Who is that? Oh, that's that dude in the suede. He used to do reviews for the site.
Oh,
There you go.
nice, thanks.
Apparently, Suede was using a real katana in the final battle scene, which is just dangerous as hell, but kind of fun. It would have been cool if like someone actually got beheaded, but what are you going to do? Throughout Doug and Rob Walker's feature-length commentaries, they talk about how hard it was to make this, how they were unsure of how it was turning out at every step of the process, how they believed they were making a stinker. Well, I think the movie turned out half decent for what it is. And it just shows that the more Rob and Doug think the movie sucks, the better it's actually turning out.
They genuinely look like they're all having more fun than they did on Kickassia. And in turn, I had more fun watching the actual movie.
If you look under the bar, Holly, there's actually a little something for you.
He's like, you should have got me a bottle of whiskey, but thanks.
I mean, you guys, when I came in and we were going to do that vote and everything, and you guys were just like, we don't need to talk about this, we know, and we would just never, ever abandon ship like that. We're totally with you. That, for me, that's like top 5 best moments on Earth. That really meant a lot, you guys. I really, really mean that. Give yourselves a round of applause.
I like that Doug got up there and thanked them all. That's the sign of a good leader, by the way, thanking them for what they did. And I think he found a newfound respect for these people. You don't see Mike Mashad up there. You don't see Rob up there thanking them. And, it makes me wonder what it would have been like instead of Mike Mashad being the main owner of Channel Awesome. What if they had given Holly a bigger stake in the company and had her be a leader, because she believed in the group and she had this good energy about her. I can't believe it. I like this movie. What is happening to me?
And I went on eBay and I just started questioning humanity and why they have so much money to throw around. Let's see how much this DVD goes for on eBay. Ooh. Are you kidding me? What? Well, what's on this thing? A behind-the-scenes making of featurette, bloopers, audio commentaries, 2 alternate endings, the Nostalgia Critic and Chester A. Bum's search for the Necronomicon, the true location of Malachite, trailers, flights of fantasy, music video, and more. It goes for US $1,200 or best offer. I'll give you $12. Over here you got Kickassia going for $566, not counting shipping, which would be $12.59. Look at this. The Dark Knight DVD Joker Edition, Chinese edition, very rare, $1,000. But no, Suburban Knights over here going for $1,200. Are these that rare? Suburban Knights, the Nostalgia Critic DVD, no case? Is it rare because there's no case or something? What's going on with this? Here's one shot of it and a slightly worse shot of it, just in case you need that. Who is the guy who's charging $75 for a no case DVD of Suburban Knights? Who are you? Suburban Knights is a mess, but it's a strangely watchable one. It's got a scrappy energy to it. What did you think of Suburban Knights? Is it fun in a so bad it's good way, or just kind of exhausting? Let me know down below. Seriously, I need to know I'm not alone in this. Or maybe I am, okay? You can let me know that too. Thanks for watching. If you want more insights into Suburban Knights, check out my first time movie reaction on my other channel, Dunn Reacts. You can also hear a discussion about Suburban Knights on my podcast channel, Dunncast. See you next time.